What are your thoughts on melodies? Something you're aware of? Is it something you're not? What do you think?
Great question. Great question. I did spend actually a lot of time in my studies, early studies of trying to understand how to create a good melody. What does it mean creating a good melody? Like what makes a melody satisfying? What makes a melody feels like it's a beginning of something, and what makes a melody feel like it's an end, or a middle, or like a bridge between 2 points. Like there's so many different values that could be very abstract. Um, so I spent a lot of time like analyzing music of Bach, of like why why does it feel so good? Like, well, because first he shows you the tonic, and then he goes to like the flat six, which is pulling towards the fifth, but then you're gonna go again to the tonic and then go to the fifth. So basically all this journey was going from one to flat six to five. So um all this kind of stuff of like understanding the structure of melody. So I dealt still am I'm still dealing with like understanding um like basic DNAs of melodies, like like I said, like if you zoom out, if you just see the the wide shot, the big, like if you just see the far images, far objects, if there a story, like maybe this entire thing is just like do re mi re do, like C, D, E, D, C, like taking you from here over here to the peak, then go down. So that's like the basic structure, and then how do you get from C to D? So you can go through all these like different twists and turns, and how do you tell a story getting from C to D, and then how from D to E, and then how back to D, and how you go back to C. So um, many times when you hear something that is very complex but you can relate to, it's because it has a very simple skeleton, very simple structure. So that's one thing that I took a lot exploring, and then like also the different um, degrees of gravity that a melody can give you. And like Bach is the real number one master of it, I think. But how does it feel like to end on the fourth, on the green, how does it feel to go home, but home is like it's like the tonic, but it's sitting on the fifth, like it's like how does it feel? Well, it is home, but we're not quite there. How does a six feel, say, where is it pulling? Is it pulling upwards? Is it pulling downwards? How does it feel to go from 6 to 2 to 3 to 5 and back to 1? All these kind of things that once you start respecting those um, the gravities, those little universes, and you could stay on them. Like that's why like time sounds like the song time sounds like it's taking you to all these different places where it's only one chord, because it starts on the major seven, to the dum, and that like that the dum is the fourth, and then it goes to the third, like all this kind of stuff that keeps you like moving, like keeps different tensions, tensions and releases, and so I find that modern jazz tends to go by too quickly, you know it's like there's amazing stuff going on, but it is all played like super fast, and you're like, whoa, so you don't have any time to absorb it. Imagine someone takes you to a Picasso museum, and it just drives a motorcycle, like you just pass, and you're like, whoa, I had all this depth that I just didn't have any time to live with and to project myself in, which is another thing. Like you don't always have to give the answers. Sometimes just asking the question is enough. You'd be like, let me propose something, and then you fill in the gaps, like you fill in the blanks. Who is the dream thief? I was asked many times, and the answer is I don't know. It's up to you to say. You know, I'm just posing a question. I'm just like, so like doing that musically is super interesting as well. And so yeah, there goes to harmony as well, and rhythm, and like each field is a different research and lifetime of just like digging in, and expanding and making my knowledge more and more profound, so I can actually deal with less, you know, because you know, if you look at this thing, it's really simple, just a glass of water, but there's so much. If we just, you know, start talking about all the little details, you know what I mean? There's so much going on here right now. Here, I never read it. Established 1898. Great. I was just drinking water for the past year from this class.